Inside Sim Racing is sponsored by Butt Kicker. Take your gaming to a new level of realism, immersion, and dynamics with Butt Kicker tactile transducers. Get 10% off of these packages by using coupon code ISR10 at thebuttkicker.com. Welcome to our E3 2013 special report, this one covering Gran Turismo 6. And I'm Sean Cole with my good buddy
Darren Ganji.
And Darren was the one who was actually able to attend E3 this year. I was not, so I'm here to just kind of pick your brain on what things were. And one of the biggest expectations of E3 each year, I think, is Gran Turismo and Forza. This one we're talking about Gran Turismo. So, right off the bat, what system were they running?
PlayStation 3, which they've been announced that it's going to be available for the PlayStation 3 holiday season. They haven't given an exact date, at least I don't think they have yet, but PlayStation 3, and which kind of sucks because the PlayStation 4 is coming out, but I guess their pattern has been 2 per console. So Gran Turismo 1 and 2 were on the Sony PlayStation 1, 3 and 4 were on the PlayStation 2, 5 and 6 on the PlayStation 3. And when Gran Turismo 4 came out, they were saying, well, why not put it on the PlayStation 3? Because the PlayStation 3 was just about to come out.
Right. So this happened before.
I think it's just their development cycle.
Right.
You know, it's just the way it is, and it's at the end of that platform's existence.
Sure.
Give that platform a little extra life.
Does that change the vibe when looking at Gran Turismo? I mean, you're there at Sony, they're pitching the big 4 station, and now there's Gran Turismo on the 3. I mean, did it just seem lackluster at all? I mean, in their enthusiasm.
They had a nice booth set up, but honestly, their focus was on PlayStation 4. Gran Turismo 6 was kind of off to the side, away from the hubbub. And honestly, it seemed like a bunch of local kids were running the booth. I'm a little upset that, not that I need carte blanche treatment, but we're reporting on it. Mm-hmm. And they did get us to the front of the line, but I got a couple laps and then I was ushered out.
Right.
And it was pretty much with Forza 5, I could have had more time at a playing with a gamepad, and I probably could have with Gran Turismo 6 too, but didn't get much time with it. Honestly, I didn't need that much time with it because to me, it was just Gran Turismo 5 Part 2.
Okay.
So we can talk about it a little bit. So they had 12 pods set up, was really cool, not linked. So you weren't racing against each other, you were just time trialing. You could pick one of, 6 different tracks, 6 or 7 different cars. I was excited to try Willow Springs. Mm-hmm. And
that was our home track.
That was our home track, yes, in California. But did you drive on Willow? I think you drove Kart Willow, right?
I've never driven Big Willow.
I've driven on Big Willow and Streets of Willow, so I know firsthand what Big Willow's like. And this is I've tried one on R Factor. There was the Need for Speed.
Oh, the Carnival version.
Carnival version, perfect. Circus version, Carnival version. And this is probably the best version of Willow I've ever tried. Spot on.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. And I got to drive the Nissan Delta Wing.
Oh, awesome.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
So, got some good footage of that. I drove like 3 laps and I'm like, okay, I'm going to try something else.
Right.
So then I booted up the Audi R8 LMS or whatever car. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't keep track of all the names of those cars. But it was an Audi race car, like a GT style race car. I think I got like half a lap at Silverstone. Lighting looked really cool, new track. And they're like, okay, we got to get more people in. So they then ushered us out.
And that was the end of your opportunity to drive it with a wheel.
Yep.
What wheel were they using?
T500.
Okay.
Thrustmaster T500. And some cool custom cockpits that man, could you guys make cockpits for people over 6 feet tall? I felt like I was driving speaking of circus, I felt like I was driving a clown car. My knees are hitting the wheel, and I know not everybody's over 6 feet like me, but you would have fit snug as a bug in a rug.
Take a nap.
Yep. But yeah, T500, and it felt great. I mean, it felt good. It felt Gran Turismo. It felt, honestly, the physics did not feel any different to me than what Gran Turismo feels like. They mentioned sound improvements. It was kind of hard to hear at the show.
You have that many other rigs and that much noise, sure.
But I didn't hear much of an improvement.
What about graphically?
Graphically is pretty much the same. Now I got to say too, and hopefully this is just an early build for them and they're not final, but I would think that at the end of the development cycle on the PlayStation 3 and something that they are
pretty versed in.
Well, and they have on display at E3, you would think they'd have it dialed in. I was getting some frame rate issues coming off the final turn at Willow, and it was just getting framey.
Right.
You know, it wasn't smooth, and I was the only car on track. So again, maybe it's just not fully developed yet, but I would have thought them this late in the development cycle on the PlayStation 3 that I wouldn't be encountering.
At E3 too.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe part of it too that Delta Wing had a big old mirror that was like high def right in your face, and maybe it was just too much. I don't know, and I only really felt it coming up on the front straight. So I would have liked to have had more time with it.
Right.
And hopefully we'll get an early copy to try out. But it was cool. You know, I would have rather have seen it on the PlayStation 4, and I would have rather seen, you know, hopefully they'll have some more things to entice us, you know, maybe some more realistic race scenarios, but
it seems like it's ultimately going to be an expansion pack. I mean, probably more cars, more tracks, more things to do, more races, probably things like that.
like a Gran Turismo 5.2, you know, I gotta say, one thing we haven't really talked much about Gran Turismo recently, I love that they have continually updated Gran Turismo 5. You know, they are up to spec 2.0 or 2.2 or something like that. So I like that they have continually updated that, and I'm sure Gran Turismo 6 is going to get the same treatment. And it's going to extend the life of that platform. I know some guys that are going to buy the PlayStation 3 now just to play Gran Turismo 5 because you can get it discounted, and to play Gran Turismo 6 because it's still a good, viable platform.
Yeah, good point.
So
that's about it for Gran Turismo?
That's about it, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm definitely looking forward to it, and it just, I wasn't blown away. You know, not like I was when Gran Turismo 5 came out. It's just like, okay, it's like Gran Turismo 5.
Right. But it might be just too soon to tell as well, it seems like. I mean, they're a ways off, and this was very early, obviously. And
It's still got 6 months.
Yeah, so.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So that's going to wrap it up. Our Gran Turismo 6 coverage at E3 2013. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. And next year, you're going. I'm staying up here in Spokane. Sean gets to go to LA next year. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. We'll see you guys next time. Willow Springs.
Nice.
I mean, look, I can drive the Delta Wing.
Oh, sweet.
War is our business.